Hey Beckham and Wando, I'm Taylor Gens and you're watching East Cooper Student News. Today on the show, we've got teachers and students' reaction to the new cell phone policy in place for all East Cooper students. Plus,
I'm Sailor Picaro, and it might look like I'm standing in Walmart, but I'm actually standing in the new Warrior wardrobe. Later on the show, we're going to tell you all about it.
and this chickens of the CAS. We'll tell you all about it. The first ECSN episode of the school year starts now. Thanks for watching East Cooper Student News. I'm Taylor Gens. South Carolina leaders are making big changes to cell phones in school. This year, the state is taking cell phones out of the classroom. ECSN reporter Reese O'Donnell joins us now with more on this new policy.
That's right, Taylor. The state is telling districts they need to find a way to keep the classrooms cell phone free. East Cooper schools rolled out a new policy on the first day of school. Both teachers and students say it's been an adjustment.
I find it harder to communicate with people that aren't in my class.
For policymakers in South Carolina, that's the point. This year, a new cell phone policy is in place that state officials say will help keep kids focused in school. Even though the State Board of Education passed the policy on September 3rd, East Cooper schools took initiative and put a policy in place at the beginning of the school year. Since the first day of school, students have been placing their phones into the phone holders in each classroom. Teachers like math teachers Miss Bunting say they've seen a positive change.
I love that kids can't be on their phones even after they're done with their work. I used to let them get their phones after they finish their work, but this year, with that being the policy, now instead of being on their phones and not talking to each other once they're done with their work, now they have to interact with each other and have conversations. And I've just seen a lot more socialization in class and getting to know each other versus just doing work and then being glued to the phone for the rest of the time.
Teachers also say there are technological benefits to not having access to your phone. Media arts teacher Ms. Kameroff says kids don't use regular computers very often, and it's important to learn how to navigate a computer rather than finding files on your phone.
I think a lot of my students don't use computers or haven't used computers outside of their Chromebooks, and so I feel like I'm having to teach a lot of basic, like, here's where you find your files. And so I hope that them not having everything on their phones all the time will help with that, but time will tell.
But of course, the policy hasn't been met with all positive reviews, especially from students.
My opinion on the policy is that it is unnecessary. I hope to see a lot of people being more productive. However, I think that in some cases that could prohibit people from being productive.
Though phones aren't allowed in the classroom, students are still allowed to use them before school, during class exchange, during lunch, and after school. Reporting for ECSN, I'm Reese O'Donnell.
Thanks, Reese. This cell phone policy isn't just in South Carolina. States such as Florida, Louisiana, Indiana, Minnesota, Ohio, and Virginia are also restricting phone use in schools. Leaders in each state hope these policies will help keep us focused in class. Another change coming to East Cooper schools is the removal of Smart Pass. Last year, students at Beckham, Wando, and the CAS used a digital pass system. Student passes were displayed on your phone, but because our phones now have to be put away, we can't use Smart Pass anymore. Cell phones aren't the only change coming to school this year. Wando is making a change to your normal Wednesday schedule. Wando will have Tribe Time for 30 minutes every Wednesday after second block. Tribe Time is a chance to get students more involved in school activities. During Tribe Time, there will be activities and weekly information about things going on around the school. And teachers hope it will help us enjoy the school year.
It is to build school spirit, to build class spirit. So by working with all seniors, we have a chance to not only give them the information that they will need for graduation or for the school year, but it also will build class spirit and hopefully make this the best year they've enjoyed here at Wando.
Also this year, Wando is starting a new battle of the classes to increase school spirit. Each class will compete for points throughout the school year. Ways to earn points are attending school events, participating in spirit weeks, winning class competitions, participating in weekly games during Tribe Time, and more.
I do think it gets people more engaged. I feel like the little announcements that we do in Tribe Time really helps with scheduling, and I feel like the sporting events and the competition of it all is really fun.
At the end of the year, the class with the most points will win an exclusive class event and the Wando Cup. CCSD hosted their first back-to-school bash on August 26 at Credit One Stadium. Employees enjoyed food trucks and good seats for Darius Rucker. Outside the stadium, there are booths, the East Cooper CAS Robotics Club, and a live teenage band. Before Darius's performance, high school bands from around the area performed as well as some dance teams. Students were excited to showcase their skills, and those who participated said they had a great time.
We're really excited because we really love any opportunity to be able to show everyone our robots and let them see that we are like here. We want more people to be able to see the robots and maybe even join.
I'm just excited to perform for all of our teachers and CCSD staff.
No, this is my first time doing anything like this. I've always loved being a performer and just getting out there on stage and having the crowd react to whatever we're doing. It's just awesome. It's just an awesome feeling.
With all the new beginnings of the school year, new clubs are starting up. ECSN reporter Kelsey Arthur has more news on the clubs that you can get involved in here at Wando.
Thanks, Taylor. Earlier this month, the second meeting of the Wando Girls Support Girls Club took place in Ms. Chesmore's classroom after school. Girls Support Girls is open to women in all grades. This club's main focus is to raise money for women's and homeless shelters across the area. They use bonding activities such as making candy salads to help with student engagement and getting to know one another. We talked to club co-president Lily Bevier to press on how GSG is important to both her and her fellow members.
Wanted to be a part of something that helps women and empowers them and helps young girls feel like they're a part of something.
The club's next meeting is October 8th from 3:45 to 4:10 in room D201 after school. Speaking of clubs, the Future Farmers of America is hard at work after recently gaining some new members. Chickens have been the talk of the month at East Cooper's FFA Club. FFA just got new chickens this school year. The chickens give students a chance to work with live animals in a stable environment, giving the students the experience they need to become successful in the real world.
Few weeks are the hardest part because they can't regulate their temperature themselves. They're used to having a mother to keep them warm and keep them safe. So we do that artificially with what's called a brooder box. So we have a little heating plate, and we give them the feed and we give them the water. But after those first 6 weeks or so, it's just making sure they have ready access to food, water.
The chickens will start producing eggs around late December to early January. Reporting for ECSN, I'm Kelsey Arthur.
Thanks, Kelsey. This year, the class of 2028 is starting high school, and to welcome those students, Wando held its annual Freshman Sunrise. On September 6th, the freshman class gathered on the football field to watch the sunrise. The Freshman Sunrise is the first class-wide event for the new freshmen. During the event, they provided donuts to the class and announced the freshman class president.
It's really fun to see all my friends there, and there were donuts. I came to see all my friends and support my school.
Wando will host their annual Senior Sunset at the end of this school year. On September 18th, East Cooper students had a chance to give blood, and y'all showed up big time. 134 people showed up to donate blood. The CAS collected more than 90 pints of blood. That's enough to save 273 lives. The blood drive also raised more than $1,900. Speaking of donating, Wando has gathered donations to create a wardrobe open to students in need. ECSN reporter Sailor Picaro has more on the fresh new Warrior wardrobe.
That's right, Taylor. Most projects like this are for students in need, but administrators want you to know that the Warrior Wardrobe is here to help any Wando student. This isn't the world's biggest walk-in closet. It's the newly renovated Warrior Wardrobe, and it's now open to students at Wando High School. Last year, community volunteers, as well as other businesses, came together, donated materials, and helped create our Warrior Wardrobe, which students in need can find clothes, toiletries, and shoes.
Our main focus is on basic needs, so toiletries. We have shampoo, soap, conditioner, deodorant, toothpaste, feminine products. All of those like basic necessities are here. We also have undergarments, socks, sports bras, and then we have a variety of clothing that's either new or gently used. And we invite students to come in if they need some of that type of thing, jeans, sweatshirt, t-shirt, and they can kind of come in and shop the wardrobe with an adult from our school.
Miss Antonelli led the effort to get the Warrior Wardrobe up and running, and she wants you to know that it isn't just for students with financial needs. For example, if you spill something on your shirt and need a fresh one, all you need to do is find an adult to help you.
If a student needs to visit the wardrobe, I would highly encourage them to either come to me, to go to their guidance counselor or another trusted adult in the building and share that need with them, and then we will make sure that they have time to come in and get what they want.
The Warrior Wardrobe is living proof that when the community comes together, there is a positive impact as a result. It serves as a promise from the PTSO to Wando students that Wando will always do what's in the best interests of the students.
We're just really proud to have this space exist here. We want it to be utilized. We want students who have needs to let us know so that they can come in here and get anything that they need, and it's free of charge. So there's no charge for this, and we just want students to know about it and use it.
Again, if you need access to the wardrobe, ask any adult that you trust at Wando. Reporting for ECSN, I'm Sailor Picaro.
Thanks, Sailor. We've all heard horror stories about cafeteria food. And if you don't like cafeteria food, then listen up. One of our staff members is a culinary student. Fisher Bond is starting a new series this year where he elevates all the food you can eat in the lunchroom. We're calling it Fish Food.
Welcome to Fish Food. My name's Fisher, and I'm here to teach you how to elevate the food you can find in the cafeteria. Today, we're going to make an elevated fried chicken sandwich. First, we need to prep the chicken. Take 2 regular-sized chicken breasts and pound them with a meat tenderizer or rolling pin until they're flat. Then slice in half. Next, we're going to give the chicken a bath. Combine 1 cup buttermilk, 1/2 cup pickle juice, 1 large egg, 2 garlic cloves, and a pinch of salt. Then drop in the chicken. Cover in plastic wrap and let sit in the fridge anywhere from 30 minutes to 6 hours. While we wait for that to finish, let's make a delicious sauce. To a bowl, add 1 cup of mayo, 1/2 cup of ketchup, 1½ tablespoons of Worcestershire sauce, a teaspoon of garlic powder, and a pinch of salt and pepper. Make sure to mix thoroughly and let refrigerate for the best flavor. Now that that's done, let's get back to the chicken. For the coating, add 1 cup of flour, 3/4 cups of cornstarch, 1 teaspoon of baking powder, 2 tablespoons of smoked paprika, 1/2 teaspoon of cayenne, 1½ teaspoons of ground pepper, 2 teaspoons garlic powder, onion powder, and dried oregano, and an optional teaspoon of MSG. Now grab your whisk and mix it together really well. After that's done, take a large pot and add 4 cups of neutral oil. I'm using vegetable oil. Now turn the heat to medium-high and wait till it hits 425. Now that our chicken's finished brining, let's take it out and start breading. First, take about 3 tablespoons of the brining liquid and put it into the breading mixture. Then, put the chicken in one at a time in the mixture. After it's fully coated, place in the hot oil. Fry for 4 minutes and then flip and let it go for another 4 minutes. Once golden brown, carefully take it out and place onto a wire baking sheet. Chicken is safe to eat at 165 degrees, so if you're nervous, use a thermometer to check. Now that everything's finished, we're going to assemble. We start with a bottom bun. I'm using brioche, but you can use whatever you'd like. Then a piece of lettuce. Next, the chicken sandwich. A good scoop of that creamy sauce. And finally, the top bun. And that's how you make a fried chicken sandwich.
Culinary Arts is just one of the career programs offered to East Cooper students. Here at the CES, there are 17 different programs you can get involved with. Each month, we're going to highlight a program, starting with architecture class.
The structural reason, there's probably a few. I'm looking for 2 reasons. They're doing the tiny house project, so they get to design a tiny house, you know, like the ones that travel down the road on the back of a trailer, and they design it and then they draw it really in detail, and then they get to build a model. And the models, you might be able to see them back over my shoulder, but some of them are wood models.
The subflooring here.
Architecture is art, and I would love to add more art into the curriculum.
We have just one announcement for you. The CAS is bringing back its Cyber Patriot Defense Team this year. The team is called the CAS White Hats. Students will compete in different cybersecurity skills categories. The team's first round of competition is at the end of October. If you're interested in joining the CAS White Hats, please stop by K318. That's all for our show. Thank you for watching our first ECSN episode of the year. Signing off for ECSN, I'm Taylor Genst.